If you're the kind of person who stays up late while everybody else goes to sleep, you might not want to listen to this story. So this girl says that normally during the summer they would go and spend time with their grandmother in Mexico. The only downside, she says, was that there was a show that she enjoyed watching, but it wouldn't come out there until 1 in the morning. So she would usually stay up until 1 a.m. to watch the show while everybody else is asleep. So it was one of the nights where she was going to stay up to watch her show, and her grandmother's siblings and cousins had already gone upstairs to go to sleep. As she's waiting there, she starts to hear this squeaking noise that is very familiar to her coming from the backyard. She knew it was a trampoline that was in the backyard because her uncle had just built it 10 days ago, and it was a really old trampoline, so every time they would jump it would make really loud squeaky sounds. She did kind of get up and look towards the backyard, but because there was curtains she couldn't see anyone, and honestly she was so into the TV show that she just thought to herself, maybe it was my sister or my cousin that decided to go jump on the trampoline in the middle of the night. After a little while of watching the show, she started thinking like, wait, no, they couldn't be back there, because if they had gone to the trampoline I would have seen them come down the stairs, open the back door, and that never happened. She admits that realization of like the fact that she would have seen them go out and it wasn't them put a lot of fear into her. What she decided to do was just turn off the TV and try to go upstairs in the grandmother's room to go to bed, all while she's scared and trying to remain calm. When she went into the bedroom, she did wake up her sister and cousin and started telling them what was happening outside and what she heard. Her older sibling did get up and look out the window, and that there was nobody on the trampoline. By the time her sibling did look out the window, she stopped hearing that trampoline noise, so it kind of calmed her down, so she decided to just lay down next to her sister and go to sleep. The following morning, she did decide to tell her mom what happened that night when she stayed up, and her mom really didn't give it that much importance. She told her that she shouldn't be staying up late and maybe that's why she's scared herself. However, the grandmother was listening in on the conversation that she was having with her mom. Her grandmother told her that it was probably the duendes, and she pretty much told her, good thing you didn't go out there thinking it was your sister and cousin jumping on the trampoline. She explains that in the town there's been like stories about duendes luring kids outside pretending like they want to play with them, and then they go missing. Honestly, from most of the stories that I've read, that sounds like about right. Can you imagine the duendes jumping on the trampoline though? Can you imagine if she had gone out there thinking it was her sister and cousin? No thank you.
You can ask the flowers, I sit for hours telling all the blues.
Okay guys, I packed my bags, I got my sleeping bag, and for the next 3 days, I am staying and living inside of the real life Indiana demon house. So, if you want to see what happens to me in this house, hit the follow button.
In the name of Jesus Christ, I ask you to leave this house this instant. In the name of Jesus Christ, I ask you to leave this house.
I don't think it's happy we're here. Oh, holy. Dude, there's...
Most of the activity's in here, isn't it?
Yes, the vast majority of it. I've heard whispering. Sometimes I can't understand it. Sometimes saying my name.
When Paranormal Activity released out in theaters, it was an instant success. The plot follows Katie and Mika Featherston after Mika buys a camera to start investigating some of the creepy paranormal stuff that had been going on in their house recently.
You mean this will work?
I think we're gonna have a very interesting time capturing whatever paranormal phenomena is occurring or is not occurring.
A good portion of the movie really only has Mika finding some really small breadcrumbs of evidence, like growls or footsteps throughout the house.
Be happy to talk with the Ouija board.
Whoa. Hell.
Katie decides to bring in a psychic to see if they can do anything to get rid of the spirit that seems to be haunting them.
We've heard banging on the walls, scratching sounds, like dragging down the wall kind of scratches.
But Mika has other plans in mind.
What if we just get this Ouija board, right? And we find out what it wants, and then we just give it what it wants, and then it's gone.
Because what it probably wants is Katie.
And despite the warning of the psychic, as well as protests from Katie, Mika brings a Ouija board into the house and decides to try and communicate with it.
You knew exactly what I meant. I said don't mess with that stuff because it scared me. What do? You go out and you get the best looking fucking Ouija board I've ever seen and you put it in the middle of our living room?
It does not go well, and things drastically escalate after this point.
There's footsteps in, but there's no footsteps out.
Oh, God.
And eventually, Katie comes under full possession by the demon, which then leads us into Paranormal Activity 2.
I don't know what the hell's going on, but this is insane. Fuck! Ah!
I think we'll be okay now.
Paranormal Activity is one of those movies that set the found footage genre in motion, along with the Blair Witch Project or Cannibal Holocaust. There's a few of them that have actually had so much of an impact that it's the reason why the genre exists at all. Even today, it's still considered one of the most profitable films ever made because the original was shot for $15,000. And it came out during a time where there wasn't really anything else like it. The only thing even close to it was the Blair Witch Project. I myself went to go see it the day it came out in theaters back in 2009 when I was a junior in high school. And I loved the film. It's part of why I have such a love for found footage. So if you would like to watch it for yourself, the movie is called Paranormal Activity. And I think right now the only place that it's available for free is Pluto TV. But you can find all of them on Amazon or Paramount Plus for a subscription. I'll see you guys later.
Scary things caught on camera.
am I delusional or am I actually making these earrings look good? So this guy says when him and his sibling were around 7 and 8 years old, they went to visit their grandparents' house for the very first time in Chiapas, Mexico. They were outside of the grandparents' house playing around right when the sun was about to set. That was when they started to hear a voice coming from the street. When they finally saw who was calling out to them, it was a little boy, and there was nothing weird about the little boy except for the fact that all of his clothing was kind of made up of like potato sacks. He did ask the boys if they wanted to go play at his house. He said that he doesn't have any siblings and there's no other kids in the area that he could play with. He said that the little boy seemed really nice, so they did want to go play with him, but they told him that they had to go ask their parents for permission first. That was when the little boy tells them, oh no, we all know each other in the area, you don't need to ask for permission. The two kids were like, okay, we'll follow you. As they were following him, the little boy tells them that he lives right behind the grandparents' house, so that gave the two kids a little bit more comfort because they wouldn't be that far away. Luckily, their dad was actually outside and saw that they were leaving the house and going down the street, so he screams at them and asks them where they're going. And that's when the kid tells the dad, oh, we're gonna go play with the neighbor. When he told his dad we're going with the neighbor, he points at him, and then when he turns to look at where that kid was, he was no longer standing in front of them. They ended up going back to the grandparents' home because the dad refused to let them continue walking away, and when they got there, they told the grandpa and the dad what happened, and the grandfather tells them that it sounded like it was a Chanek trying to take them away. He also mentioned that nobody lived behind the grandparents' home, that the only thing behind his house was a river and that no other houses were beyond that. The grandpa even told them that there has been stories of kids gone missing when they're trying to go back in that area. He explains that he is so lucky that his dad was out there when he was because he has no idea where him or his brother would be if he wasn't. He definitely believes that he had a run-in with a Chanek, but the crazy thing was that he says it didn't look like a monster. It didn't look like what they explained maybe duendes to look like. It literally looked like a little boy that wanted to go and play. But what do you guys think? This looks so real, doesn't it?
That's a person. That's a person. That's a person.
Yes? Hello? What is that? Who are you? I'm not gonna hurt you. Leave my lights alone.
Get a tissue.
Don't yell like that. Look at me. First of all, don't raise your voice like that. It's inappropriate. And see, now the ghost is very upset. Don't do that.
And there's no ghost in here.
Well, that's... I don't know.
Facing forward, thank you. That's what I like.
So this girl's 15 years old, and she said that this happened to her when she was around 7 or 8. So she was at her best friend Lupita's house, and she says that Lupita came up to her and said, hey, let's go to my room, but don't make any noise along the way. So they were tiptoeing to Lupita's door, and once there, Lupita turns and tells her, hey, come look, there's a duende in my room. She says that she didn't even think about it. She got close to the door and looked in between the crack, and indeed there was a duende in her room. She didn't think duendes looked the way they did because what she saw was like a person almost the size of like a 5-year-old, but the face looked like an old man. She also says that the duende wasn't even paying attention to them, like it was staring hard at Lupita's little sister, which by the way was asleep in her bed. After that, she says she got really scared and she started to run back to where her mom was, and Lupita chased after her too. So once they reached their moms, they did tell them what they saw in the room. The girl's mom told her that maybe she was hallucinated or just making stuff up and that there was no duende in that house. However, Lupita's mom contradicted her and said, no, actually there are duendes in my house. Ever since that day, she told Lupita to fuck off and never went back to her house again. The ending is so stupid, but I swear that's what the girl said she told Lupita, and she had not talked to her after that at all. And honestly, same, because why the fuck would you traumatize me being like, come to my room, but very slow? She knew the duende was there. If you know Spanish, the real ending was, desde ese momento, mandé la chingada Lupita. Same.
It literally sounded...
Stacy.
What the f was that?
Leave. Stop. You gotta go. Shh. Calm down. What are you? Stop.
Liam, come here. Liam, right now. What is happening? Okay, I'm calling your mom. Just stay right here.
I really don't think I'm ever gonna be able to see this shit. Listen to it. Listen to that. Jesus. I mean, this is my whole closet right here. This is my kitchen.
My door just keeps opening by itself. Watch, here, look. Nobody. Nobody in this house. Nobody. Now watch. Look, let me close this door. Watch. 3, 2. Oh, heck no. No. Okay, God. Look. Nothing. Dogs barking and everything.
You guys will not believe what happened to me inside the real Indiana Demon house last night. So first of all, I'm walking around with this now because I don't trust it anymore. But last night, guys, I slept back here, okay? And all of a sudden, I hear what sounds like an old lady fighting with another old lady, and then just loud banging. Like, it sounded like something was up above me on the second floor just stomping around. But it gets crazier. So all last night I had a camera sitting right here facing towards a REM pod, which is a device that spirits can touch. And when I came back to the house a couple hours ago, that REM pod was going off, but it was turned off. The REM pod was off, it was dead, but somehow it was still lighting up and making sounds. I confirmed via the switch that it was off. So I don't know what's doing that. We still have one more day, and if you want to see the full video of what happened in this house, it drops this Sunday on my YouTube channel, Jake Ghost Hunter.
If you wake up in the middle of the night and see a figure standing in your closet, that means you have already slipped out of your reality. You need to leave immediately. Your closet is still functioning as a portal, but only for a limited time. This portal can take you back to your reality, but you need to act fast. Once the portal closes, it means they have seen you. Act without delay. Another exit may still be accessible. Remain cautious, there are things here you were never meant to encounter. Do your best to stay calm. You might still have a way out. in this place. And by then, it will already be too late.
In the following video, a woman named Britt is outside her house trying her best to remain calm after witnessing something that left her immensely terrified.
I'm recording this just in the off chance that no one believes me. Maybe I can catch it. And by the way, I have a freaking cemetery in my front yard, which probably doesn't help my cause. Freaking night, like even at night, they even come and hang out here, and they just like stand and like. Are you for real right now?
Eerily, her shirt is pulled by something that can't be seen. It was right after she walked in to disable the home security alarm, which had gone off for unknown reasons, that this happened. Upon feeling a sudden yank, she immediately drops her food and runs out in a panic frenzy. According to her, it was as if someone had tugged at her sleeve with all their might. Shaken up by this, she decides to sleep in the RV outside and wait until her family came back from their trip. It goes without saying, but she was totally freaked out, and it didn't help that she was all alone when this happened. This incident, along with the strange behavior from the animals, has led her to believe that the graveyard is either cursed or haunted. Whether paranormal or not, these occurrences are still pretty creepy. But despite there being no further videos on this situation, these current ones continue to spook viewers and make them wonder just what exactly is going on with Britt's home. Like all videos, this one remains a mystery.
If you have fallen asleep with headphones on with music and after waking up, even after removing the headphones, you continue to hear music from nowhere, wake up immediately. Wake up, wake up, wake up.
What?